What if the order everyone agreed on, from Pythagoras to Einstein to every textbook ever written, is backward? In the next 10 minutes, this video is going to turn everything you thought you knew about space and time upside down and inside out. If you want to hold on to your current reality, stop watching now. Here is an impossible sounding question that challenges centuries of unquestioned assumptions. What if the most fundamental structure in physics, the foundation upon which every model of reality is precariously built, has been counted in the wrong order for over 2,400 years? The implications are staggering. Has Western thought constructed its understanding of both mathematics and physics on a fatally flawed foundation? Yes, it has. It starts from the wrong end and then fabricates increasingly convoluted nonsense to paper over the cracks. What am I talking about? How can this be? I'm talking about space-time. All the arcane mathematics that makes us feel clever while blinding us to the obvious. Entire careers are built on this house of cards, and everyone studies from textbooks that are fundamentally wrong. Time does not come fourth. Time comes first. And when you see why, when you witness the proof unfold, two seemingly unrelated phenomena snap into place with a clarity that the standard account utterly fails to provide. The structure of space-time and the structure of light are revealed to be the same entity, merely described from different angles. That's where we're headed. But first, let's start with what everyone thinks they know. The standard sequence for constructing dimensions proceeds as follows. Start with a point. Sweep it at 90 degrees and you get a line. Sweep the line at 90 degrees and you get a plane. Sweep the plane at 90 degrees and you get three-dimensional space. Each sweep is performed at a right angle. Each sweep generates something qualitatively new. That rule is correct, and we'll continue to apply it. Then Einstein, following centuries of unquestioned convention, places time as the fourth dimension, space-time. 4 dimensions in total, with a glaring inconsistency at the core that undermines the entire framework. He's wrong. Completely, he got it backward. The 3 spatial dimensions are bidirectional. You can move forward or backward along length, left or right along width, up or down along height. Every spatial dimension operates in both directions. Time doesn't. You can only traverse time in one direction, forward. You can't reverse course. The standard account acknowledges this as a peculiar quirk of the time axis, but fails to grasp its profound implications. This blatant asymmetry is noted, then shrugged off without any serious examination of what it reveals about the true structure of reality. A grave error with far-reaching consequences. That asymmetry is the key to answering our question. An axis that operates in only one direction is not behaving like a peer to the other 3. It's behaving like a prerequisite for the other 3, and something the other 3 require in order to exist at all. The unidirectionality of time is not an anomaly. It is the signature of the underlying substrate. They counted it last because they started from the wrong end. Time is not the fourth dimension, it is the first. So how do we prove it? It's actually not hard at all. We just hold 2 definitions side by side. We apply the same 90-degree rule from the beginning, and we do it in parallel. Spatial sequence on the left, temporal sequence on the right. Watch as they progress in lockstep. Left column, a point, 0 dimensions. Right column, a point in time, 0 dimensions. One moment differentiated from the next by the oscillation of light. That oscillation is what defines a point at all. Without oscillation demarcating one moment as distinct from the next, there's no point. There isn't anything. For something to exist, it has to exist in a moment. A time moment, a point in time. Left column, sweep the point at 90 degrees, a line. 1 dimension, length. Right column, light's oscillation forms the temporal substrate. But light is also a wave, and a wave requires a carrier. The electric field serves as that carrier, swept at 90 degrees to the oscillation. The first spatial dimension, emerging directly from the temporal one. Precisely the same operation is on the left. Left column, sweep the line at 90 degrees. A plane, 2 dimensions. Width. Right column. Sweep the electric field at 90 degrees. The magnetic field. The second spatial dimension. Same rule. Same procedure. Maxwell's equations demand it. The two fields cannot exist aligned. They must be mutually perpendicular. Left column. Sweep the plane at 90 degrees. 3-dimensional space, height. Right column. One more 90-degree sweep. The wave propagates. 4 dimensions, 1 temporal, light's oscillation, and 3 spatial. The electric field, the magnetic field, and the wave propagation. The structure of light and the structure of space-time are one and the same, a truth obscured by the prevailing incorrect order. This is no mere academic detail. It strikes at the very foundations of our understanding of the universe. Now the question's got a sharper edge. If the right order's been staring us in the face and coded in the geometry of light all along, how'd everyone overlook it? Edwin Abbott thought he'd settled the matter of dimensions in 1884 with Flatland, a 2-dimensional world full of 2-dimensional beings. The thought experiment molded conventional thinking about dimensions for nearly 150 years. But Abbott's world's inherently self-contradictory. His Flatlanders move, converse, reason, argue, experience, ponder. Every single one of those actions needs time. Motion's impossible without duration. A sequence of events can't unfold without a temporal axis. Abbott shows a 2-dimensional world while giving his inhabitants the full use of time on every page, without ever acknowledging it, without ever factoring it into his flawed geometry. The central question his thought experiment was supposed to answer, the nature of lower dimensional worlds, can't even be coherently asked within the flawed framework he built. By ignoring the necessity of time, Abbott's premise collapses under its own contradictions. Yet this fatally flawed thought experiment's misguided our intuitions about dimensions for generations. A creature stuck on a line's described as capable of movement along that line. But movement when? The instant you allow motion, you've already assumed time. The sloppy geometry simply grants what it never accounted for. Abbott missed it, Einstein missed it, every textbook since has spread the error. So what's the answer to the question we started with? Time's dimension 1. Without it, nothing can be the sort of thing that geometry might describe. Not a point, not a line, nothing. Introduce the electric field, dimension 2. Introduce the magnetic field, dimension 3. Introduce the direction of wave propagation, dimension 4. 1 temporal dimension as the bedrock, 3 spatial dimensions built on it. This is our world, 4-dimensional. And the temporal dimension's not a minor detail tacked on as an afterthought. It's the very foundation everything else stands on. An entity in this world's not a point at any single instant. It's a 4-dimensional structure extended through time, with the present moment being just a thin cross-section of the whole. The seemingly impossible question we open with has a crisp, geometrically precise answer. The standard model got the count right, 4 dimensions. But it started counting from the wrong end, and that single misstep's languished unexamined at the heart of physics, philosophy, and every thought experiment, probing the nature of reality for over a century. Begin with time, with oscillation, with light. Sweep at 90 degrees. Sweep again. Sweep once more. You arrive at the same 4-dimensional space-time the standard model describes, only in the right order. And when you reach that destination from the proper direction, you find that the structure of reality and the structure of light are one and the same, and that the first text to declare this truth wasn't a physics paper, it was the opening of Genesis.